We tend to think that a sharp mind can conquer just about any problem. But when it comes to love, it's a different story. In fact, high intelligence can sometimes make finding a real connection even more complicated. So today, we're going to get into the psychology of why your brain's greatest strengths might just be what's holding you back in your love life. And really, that's the big question, isn't it? I mean, you can probably break down a super complex theory or map out an entire business plan, but a single, simple text message can send your mind into a total spiral. How does such a powerful processor get so jammed up by something as basic as human connection? Well, here's the most important thing to get right from the start. If this feels familiar, you are not broken. These struggles aren't some personal flaw. Psychology tells us they're actually a direct byproduct of how you're wired. Think of it as a feature of your operating system, not a bug. Okay, so let's jump into our first section, which covers the first couple of reasons. We're calling it the overthinking mind. Your ability to analyze things is a superpower, no doubt about it. But in the messy, nuanced world of dating, that exact same asset can become your single biggest obstacle. This brings us right to reason number one, analysis paralysis. You know that feeling, right? Where you're just stuck. You're replaying a conversation, a look, a single word over and over again, trying to decode it from every possible angle until you're just completely frozen. And that leads straight into reason number two. You end up playing mental chess instead of just, being on a date. You're not really in the moment. Instead, you're analyzing every move, running simulations of the future, scanning for any tiny flaw. And the result? You're so busy thinking 10 moves ahead that you can't even make the simple next move that's right there in front of you. All right, let's move on to our next big theme, which actually covers a few reasons. We'll call it the authenticity filter. This starts with reason number three. It's not that you're overly judgmental, it's that you see the world and the people in it in a much higher resolution than most folks. Think about it. Your brain is like this highly tuned pattern hunting machine. It's always on, always searching for inconsistencies, for subtle shifts in what people say and do, for hidden motives. You spot the little red flags in the inauthentic behaviors that other people just don't notice. And once you see it, you really can't unsee it. Which brings us to a huge one. Reason number four. You have a really low tolerance for small talk. For a brain that loves to think, surface-level chatter isn't just boring, it feels like a waste of mental energy. You crave deep, abstract ideas, psychological insights, big questions. So when a date just wants to talk about the weather, your brain pretty much just checks out. And this is a really crucial point. Your refusal to play all those silly dating games isn't about arrogance. It's about a deep, fundamental need for authenticity. You value what's real more than you value the temporary comfort of just fitting in, which, unfortunately, can feel pretty isolating at times. Now, this drive for truth can lead to reason number five, something called maladaptive perfectionism. Because you see the potential in everything, you also see every single flaw. You end up applying this same high-res lens to people, searching for a perfect match with a kind of depth that, let's be honest, is incredibly rare out in the real world. Okay, this brings us to our final section, which holds the last two reasons. And it's a big paradox. We're calling it the self-sufficiency trap. This is where your incredible strength and independence can accidentally become the very barrier that prevents the connection you're looking for. And that's reason number six, defensive self-reliance. A lot of really smart people develop this, often because of things that happen in their past. You've learned how to be your own rock, how to solve your own problems, how to handle your emotions all by yourself. And that's an amazing survival skill. But in a relationship, it can create a wall without you even realizing it. Because at the end of the day, real human connection isn't built on just strength. It's built on vulnerability. It's about letting someone in, showing them you need them, and allowing yourself to actually be supported. And that's the tough part, right? When you handle everything on your own, it's not that you're actively trying to push people away. It's that you just don't leave them any room to feel needed. There's no space for them to contribute, no way for them to feel like they truly matter in your life. It can make a partner feel, well, kind of useless. This perfectly illustrates the disconnect and gets us to our seventh and final reason. You offer logical support when what's really needed is emotional connection. You're great at solving problems, being reliable, giving practical help, and those things are amazing. But what a partner often needs is just to feel seen, to feel warmth, to share a moment of vulnerability. It's not about being fixed, it's about being felt.
So, after going through all of these challenges, what's the takeaway? Well, it's time to reframe this entire struggle. This isn't about trying to fix some flaw in yourself. It's about understanding that you're just built for a different kind of connection.
And I really want this last thought to sink in. You are not too much. You are not broken. Your mind is simply built for a level of connection, deep, authentic, intellectually alive, that is honestly pretty rare. Not everyone is going to be able to meet you there, and that is perfectly okay. So as we wrap this up, I want to leave you with a question to think about. Looking back at these 7 reasons, the analysis paralysis, playing mental chess, that high filter for authenticity, and the self-sufficiency trap, which of these really hit home for you? Which one made you say, yep, that's me? Because just knowing that is the very first step.